There have been hypocrisies on both sides of the political spectrum for years from both conservatives and liberals. We are going to be looking at hypocrisy for economic views, social views, and governmental views. We are going to start out by going over liberal hypocrisy and trying to see how it affects us and others who currently live in the United States. We will try to determine how the hypocrisy affects legitimate causes.
Today we are here at Thornton Park in order to get people to express their opinions on hypocrisy in politics today.
We will ask our guests about what they have seen in women's rights, third-wave feminists, or social justice warriors in relation to women.
Okay, why do feminists claim to support women's rights but only campaign for them in the United States, while in Islamic nations, women have no rights?
I would say maybe the economy can be corrupted if us American women stand up and try to help the Islamic people, because Islam has a lot of big oil industries and if we try to help, then they can shut that down, and it can we can lose our publicity, and our economy will just our reputation will just be corrupted.
Why do liberals claim to support freedom of speech when in college campuses freedom of speech is limited?
In certain college campuses, freedom of speech is limited because not all freedom of speech is the same. So some of it could be racist and some of it could be misogynistic, which can offend other students attending that campus. Another thing to keep in mind is people love freedom of speech, but the minute it goes against what they want to say, they want to suppress it. So that really shows hypocrisy in American politics today.
Do you think minorities can be racist towards white people?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely not. All white people are racist.
No, only white people can be racist.
Were you aware that many liberals believe that minorities can't be racist towards white people? And what are your opinions on that matter?
I think minorities can be racist because I would think that they would think their race is superior than others.
I think differently because many races, like many people think their race is like higher than any other.
Minorities can't be racist because the only way to be racist is if you hold the power, and only white people hold the power in this nation.
No comment.
Do you support PETA?
No, I hate PETA.
Yes. Yes, but only under certain circumstances. I believe in eating animals. For meat purposes, a lot of people, vegetarians and vegans, don't believe in that kind of stuff. I believe they should be treated fairly and have lands run around and not just be cooped up in a cage. But I do believe that we should be able to eat them for our own needs.
Would you still support PETA even if you knew that they killed most of the animals that they saved?
After those questions, I don't support PETA because they're kind of contradicting what they're all about, and that they're supposed to be helping animals when they're killing them within 2 weeks of innings.
Now, we will look at conservative hypocrisy. Republicans talk about limiting spending. They talk about being advocates of civil rights. It is a falseness that has come over the party throughout its lifetime. They are known as the Party of Lincoln, the great liberator of the slaves, yet the KKK is currently aligned with the GOP. Surprisingly enough, ex-Grand Wizard David Duke was elected into into the Louisiana State Office in 1989. What's even worse is the present-day Republicans blame Obama for the rise of ISIS, forgetting that the Reagan administration helped arm the Islamist Mujahideen fighters in Afghanistan that would later become the Taliban led by Osama bin Laden. Back to economics. The Great Recession of 2008 began during the Bush administration. They claimed to be strong supporters of fiscal policy. But ever since President Eisenhower, there hasn't been a Republican president that has balanced out the budget.
What are your views on Obamacare?
I dislike Obamacare because it benefits people who don't deserve to get benefits.
Did you know that most Republicans want to repeal Obamacare even though they have not offered an alternative to it?
Yeah, what we had before was a good system.
Did you know that most of the conservatives that want to make extremely strict laws following the Bible and their religion are also the ones that are usually the ones that commit the most adultery? What's your opinion on that?
I think it's wrong that people who say one thing and do the exact opposite pretty much contradict what they do. So I think it's almost like saying practice what you preach, and if they can't even follow that, then why even do what they are doing in the beginning?
So Turbo, what do you think about PETA?
I love it.